Christmas is coming up. Make sure you get yourselves the 10% off code. GBFC10 gets you 10% off everything at the Chelsea Online Megastore. Check the QR code on the screen. Link in the description. Let's get into the video. Yes, guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson Football Channel. I didn't sleep all that well last night. My body temperature was raised. I wear a whoop. It told me that. I'm not just lying to you and exaggerating. Because Chelsea again last night, right? My brain is in this like flippant mode right now. And I didn't select the mode. I didn't turn it on. I don't want it to be there. I want it to stop. I don't want all of this inconsistency game after game after game. And I want to go over it last night because there's been some damning stats that have come out as a result of this match being completed. Obviously, 6 things we learned. Check that video out from last night if you want to see it, because in that video, I genuinely felt as though I didn't really watch a football match. Do you know what I mean? Like a 2-2 game of football, you've obviously got 4 goals to analyse, but it felt as though there weren't that many moments. There wasn't actually much football. And it turns out, according to UEFA last night, that the ball was actually only in play for about 46 minutes, which is about one half of football, and there were 98 minutes played. That is absolute insanity. And I wasn't necessarily sitting there watching it thinking, yeah, Qarabag are time wasting all the time. I thought the referee was almost like he had his whistle super glued in his flipping mouth, mate. It felt like that when I was watching this game of football. But realistically, it doesn't matter if it's a 46-minute game of football. Chelsea should be beating Qarabag. I'm not here to excuse that result, but I am going to say all of the odds were against us if we don't show up. And lo and behold, as always seems to be the case right now, Chelsea great one game, don't show up the next game. Great one half, don't show up the next half. And I'm trying to get my head around this, right? Because in football, it's very easy to blame people. It's very easy to pinpoint things and be like, well, that's the reason, or it's that person's fault, or that guy should do better, that guy's great. It's very easy when you're watching football to allocate emotion to a player. That's what I do. I'm an emotional football fan. So 1 minute, I'll be delighted. The next minute, I'll be fuming. Chelsea 1-0 up at Qarabag. Estevao scored, one of our new favourite players. We're going to talk about him a bit more today. Of course we're going to be happy. Give me 20 minutes later, 2-1 down, and I'm like, what's going on? It's Qarabag, for goodness sake. Now, I want to start with the comments from Enzo Maresca when talking about rotations, because if you watch the 6 Things We Learnt video, spoiler, rotations was a red box, because the rotations that we saw led to errors that led to goals being conceded. The intention tonight was to rest Enzo, Moy, Malo, to rest more players because they are not able to play every 3 days. They need recovery from last season. The Club World Cup affects a lot. We try to rotate when you win. No one mentioned all that. I know that when we don't win, everyone is focused on that. Now, this is a fair point, right? And obviously, as a football fan, let's say my hangover from the Club World Cup was 2 days long. I went out the night before, went out the night of the World Cup final win, and then within 2 days, everything's rosy. I'm sitting down, making videos, not running around a football pitch. Whereas for the players, that break that they're so used to every summer isn't just a physical break, it's a mental break as well. There needs to be some time to kind of disengage from football so that when you come back in, it's the same with any job. If your head's not in it, physically, that is going to reflect on it too. So for Chelsea players, right, I think there's definitely a balancing act here between the physical stress, drain that was put on the body as a result of playing through the majority of July or half of July and then coming back for pre-season 2 weeks after that or something ridiculous. There is a balance of that, but also the winning mentality that comes with it, right? So you've got to play those things off of one another. So when it comes to Enzo Maresca and rotations here, he's specifically mentioned Enzo, Fernandez, Moises Caicedo, Malo Gusto. I think when it comes to Chelsea right now, this season is looking as though it will be defined by inconsistency. And if we're going to keep attributing those inconsistencies to the fact we didn't have a pre-season, fair enough. But as fans, right, it's very difficult for us to fully buy into what we're seeing when game by game, it's like we can turn it on or we don't turn it on. So for me, I'm not fully buying all of this. The Club World Cup took its toll out of us, of course. I genuinely can see a consistency within these inconsistencies with who we show up against, right? And I've been saying this for a long time, and maybe it's not my place to say. Maybe I don't have enough ball knowledge and understanding of biology, physiology, to be able to say this, but I grew up watching players that were more than happy to play Wednesday night and Saturday, Tuesday night and Sunday, or whatever variant of that you want to go with. I grew up seeing that all the time. Now, I know the load on players nowadays, there's a lot of matches, even the Champions League, 2 additional games in there. All of this accumulated does take its toll. I get that. But I want to focus on the mental side from Chelsea because this season have wanted to stop going down the path of it's an incredibly young team. I don't want that to be kind of like the fallback excuse. Yes, it is still a young team, but these players have now been playing together for quite some time. My concern is the inconsistency within in-game management and the rotations that we're seeing, particularly Tosin and Hato coming in at centre-back yesterday. For me, this just pure and simply highlights the fact that we should have signed an elite centre-half in the summer. Yoel Hato, very happy when he came in. 40 million from Ajax, 19 years old or whatever. Cucurella's backup. We're seeing him play left-back more than we're seeing him actually play left-back. So we're seeing him play centre-back, more than we're seeing him play left-back. So I think it's this that is currently letting us down. When you compare it to Arsenal, which is an easy thing to do, Arsenal have got 4 starting centre-halves. They've got Timber, Gabriel, Saliba, Calafiori, and then after that, they can rotate to 4 different players if they wanted to. Ben White, Mosquera, Hinchape, Miles Lewis-Skelly. Arsenal have got quality and depth. Lo and behold, they don't concede goals. They're top of the league, running away with it, and they've not conceded and won every single game in the Champions League. So for Chelsea, as much as Enzo Maresca might be explaining the reasoning behind these rotations right now, it's hindering us. And look, we're in a good spot in the Champions League. Not a great one. Really, it's certainly not great. 7 points from 12, having lost to Bayern Munich convincingly and throwing away 2 points at Qarabag. There's no excuse. Absolutely no excuse. We're world champions. This should have built some kind of like winning siege mentality for Chelsea. Do you know what I mean? Like, we want a bit more of this. And players are looking a shell of themselves right now. Maybe it really is the wear and tear, but I don't see too much drop-off from Caicedo. Enzo Fernandez last night I thought was incredibly poor. Gusto's obviously highly reliant by Enzo Maresca. Reece James comes in last night, but all in all, we've got to address this. Otherwise, this season will dwindle down into nothing. If we can't go 4 or 5 games in a row at the same intensity and we're going to drop silly points against silly teams, I can't help but think it's because we're more than happy to show up for these big games because we can actually like mentally get behind it. How can we one week be physically ready and looking fit and then all of a sudden it's, Club World Cup's taking its toll, guys? I know Qarabag, Azerbaijan, it's a long-ass flight, 2,500 miles or something. I saw the clips that they were asking the players, how far away is Qarabag? And all this stuff. Maybe it's just I'm not clued up enough on the modern footballing world. I know there's more football, but surely. Anyway, Enzo Maresca on Estevao. He is a huge player. Reece James also said he has got the world at his feet. Man of the match display against Qarabag. And then this is also from Kieran Gill, Chelsea Transfers tweet. Estevao has been valued at £103.9 million, while Giovanni Kenda, who joins Chelsea next summer, is now valued at £70.6 million by the CIES Football Observatory. This is exciting. And last night, if there was a positive, it was Estevao's performance. He was by far the best footballer on the pitch. And that is also, no disrespect to Qarabag, but Estevao was the best player out there last night. He could have had a hat-trick, I think, really. On any other day with a better pitch, I think Estevao would have scored more. The goal is fantastic. And right now, we keep talking about rotations. Let's talk about the positive side of those rotations. Estevao, I think we're at that point where he's had his time now. He's had his time to bleed into this squad, to get used to English football, European football, and he's fit like a glove. Estevao can cope with the physicality of the Premier League, the speed of the Premier League, the physicality that comes with the Champions League, or maybe just how often the referee blows his whistle and takes the football away from us, right? Estevao's still the guy to get you off your seat. Estevao is the guy that can beat his man, use a bit of skill. I love watching this lad play. And I think we're at a point now from a Chelsea perspective where he should be starting every game. He's 18 years old. He can do it. And again, this is why I wanted to make this video today, to talk about these rotation thoughts I've got, the comments from Maresca and whatnot, because Estevao got knocked out in the quarterfinals, right, of the Club World Cup, and he looks so ready. We look like scoring when he gets the ball. You can't put a price on this, and apparently the CIES have 103.9 million. I want to finish this video by talking about Romeo Lavia's injury, because this is a difficult conversation. It's one that I don't really want to have, but we kind of got to have it, don't we? Enzo Maresca on Lavia's injury. I think it's a quad injury. We feel very ashamed, especially for him, because he's not able to be fit for a long, long period. We will see now, as it's too early to understand what kind of injury. Hopefully, it's not a big injury. Now, the difficult conversation that we need to have here about Romeo Lavia is how long can we hold on to this knowledge, because it is knowledge, that when he's fit and he's healthy, he's a brilliant player. Chelsea look so good when Lavia is out there on the field. However, within 4 minutes yesterday, he's gone off with another injury. And even in the process of what he was doing, he executed it brilliantly. I even said to Eunice, that was lovely from Romeo Lavia. If you watch the stream, when Lavia gets injured, I'm like, wow, like the way he brings the ball down, back to goal, doesn't even play it straight back to Sanchez. He gives it to the centre-back. So composed. But the guy's legs are made out of sugar, and we're just throwing it in water all the time right now and dissolving everywhere. I don't understand how long it's going to be before Chelsea will have to just... Asugo being out is a problem, because then the numbers look low again, right? We've got Santos, Enzo, and Caicedo. We've got Maresca telling us we have to rotate to protect these players. Caicedo is like, we cannot afford an injury to him. But with Lavia, we can never really tell how long it's going to be, what it's going to be. If you look at Lavia's injury history in the past, since he's joined Chelsea, right? We're talking about a player that simply cannot stay fit. If it's not the hamstring, it's the thigh. If it's not the thigh, like, it's a difficult conversation, but at some point soon we're going to have it. We spent a lot of money on this guy. He cannot stay fit. And maybe it's going to be one of those long-term plays, like with Reece James. There are a lot of people that were saying, Reece is done. Reece has got to be sold now. There's no point keeping him. Lavia is so good when he's fit, and this is what I think it will have to be the same as Reece, because I don't want to see Lavia get sold because he can never stay fit and then go on to be fit and healthy and smashing it somewhere else, because if he can stay fit, he will. But I want to know your thoughts on this in the comments, guys, because I know it's a difficult conversation. I saw a lot of people in the watch-along yesterday saying Lavia's got to go, we've got to sell him. But I'm looking at this the same as Reece James. Reece James at one point looked as though he was never going to have a regular stint in the Chelsea team again. Lo and behold, he did in the end, but it's so difficult, man, because to go off within 4 minutes, and it doesn't look good, does it? We're going to find out more information about this. Maybe by the time you see this video, there might be more information. I'm filming this the morning of Thursday. You guys will see it UK morning on Thursday, but I wish him all the best in his recovery. But again, I think Chelsea, we've seen rumours, you know, we've had Adam Wharton stories coming out recently. There's been links to other midfielders too. At some point, the difficult conversations will have to be had here, because Moises Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez apparently can't play every game. So what does that leave us with? Santos and Buonanotte. See you guys in the next video. Make sure you subscribe to GBFC if you haven't already done so. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you all later.